the Homestuck Dancestuck in Dearborn, Michigan at Doubletree, and I have the lovely Amanda Cumings, and she is a Grand Valley State University student and a cosplayer of the Homestuck genre. Can you tell me something about a little bit about your character, Amanda?
Currently, I'm cosplaying Little Cal. He's a puppet. I think in the comic itself he doesn't actually say anything, but because he's kind of creepy and has the feel to it, I thought that it would be fun to do at a dance because nobody knows what I'm going to do next.
Oh, really?
So they don't know what I'm going to do or when I'm going to pop up behind them with my crazy grin.
So what is Homestuck?
Homestuck is a comic, a web comic. It's considered one of the longest pieces of English literature currently, and it's kind of become a worldwide phenomenon. People of all ages are enjoying it. People of all demographics are enjoying it. Like if you look at some of the people that are here, we have kids that are middle school age all the way up into their 30s and 40s. So it's just kind of something that brings everyone together.
So what does Homestuck mean?
Literally, it's kind of the title of the story because the kids in it are literally homestuck, but in a more liberal sense, I think it's kind of a sense of unity. It brings people of all areas together. I've met a lot of my best friends through Homestuck, and I will probably keep them for life even after Homestuck is over.
So Homestuck to you means, personally, it means unity, huh?
Unity and friendship. Before Homestuck, I didn't have a lot of friends. I didn't know what I was going to do at anime conventions or gaming conventions, and I started meeting people online, people at conventions, and this just kind of allowed me to meet new friends, make new friends, and it's the friends that I made through it are probably better friends than the friends I had before, to tell the truth, just because we have something in common, and I know that they're not going to judge me for wanting to paint my face white and put on this creepy smile and wear wigs and gloves all the time.
So how did you get involved in Homestuck?
Originally I got involved because a friend of mine was reading it, and she's like, you need to read this, we need to draw the characters and cosplay the characters, and then it's kind of an addiction. Once you start, you can't stop, and you literally become Homestuck.
How long did it take you to read through the series?
I started reading in early January 2010, and I caught up at that point, and I think in May of 2010, so 5 months-ish, and that was when it was at 5,000 or so pages, maybe less than that. I read slow because the font gives me a headache, but that was several years ago. I'm kind of a Homestuck hipster.
So how many pages is it up to now?
Oh boy, over 6,000? Probably close to 7,000, I'm not sure, I haven't checked in a while. I haven't checked the page count. I keep up with updates though.
Very cool. What's your favorite part about Homestuck?
I think my favorite part is probably the fact that every time there's an update, everybody in the fandom kind of jumps together and they've got to read the update together instantly. There's animations put out for it, there's voice acting and cosplays and art, and nobody within it really hates anybody else. It's like we get a lot of flack for being Homestuck cosplayers or Homestuck fans, but if somebody were to make fun of me for being a Homestuck, I know that I would have 5,000 people behind me defending what I do.
Very cool. So you make me wonder, do you feel like it's a persecuted minority, or?
At this point, I don't know if I'd say minority, but I think it is persecuted in some areas. I know that at some conventions we become overwhelming because there are so many of us, and especially anime conventions, people are like, oh, it's not an anime, it's not a video game, you can't do that here. And it gets a lot of hate. I know that I've gotten hate for doing Homestuck cosplay or being a Homestuck. And I know that there are different parts of the fandom. Every fandom has parts of it that nobody is proud of and nobody likes. But I think that Homestucks are doing their best to kind of rise above it. We do the Canton project where we collect food and donate it to charity, and we've collected money and donated it to people that need it. I've met a lot of people that have home issues that through Homestuck have made friends and networks where they can overcome financial issues, and it's just one big happy family, no matter where you're from.
So it's really not persecuted minority. It's a persecuted big group.
Definitely a big group. I didn't go to Ohayocon, but I heard that there was over 1,000 Homestucks at it.
Wow.
And that made up, I think, 1/10 of the con, which for one fandom, that's a lot of people.
Without a doubt, yeah. I've been noticing over the last couple of years, it's just been getting bigger and bigger.
Yeah. I think the first year that I did the Homestuck was JFAX at Grand Valley in 2011, and there was probably maybe 20 Homestucks at our photo shoot, and then the next year there was 150. It just kind of ballooned and got huge. And that's at a small convention. At a larger convention, like I said, Ohayocon had 1,000. At Shuto we're expecting a couple hundred. It's just gonna get bigger and bigger and bigger.
Right, 1,000 is as large as some conventions.
Yeah.
So are you looking, hoping that they actually start doing Homestuck conventions?
I would look forward to a Homestuck convention, mostly for the fact that I think it would be nice to have a convention where nobody's going to give us hate for being Homestucks, and it's someplace that we can get together and we can talk about our fandom, our art, our animations, our headcanons, whatever it is that comes across. And I mean, there's Homestuck, but MSPA, MS Paint Adventures, has Homestuck, it has Problem Sleuth, it has other comics as well. And I think that it would give, if we had a convention that was dedicated to it, it would let us expand our horizons.
Very cool. So is there anything you'd like to add?
I think if I could add anything about it, I would say people will judge Homestuck before reading it or before getting to know the fans, and I don't think that's fair. It's like people that will judge a brony before they get to know him. They'll say, oh, he's a creeper or he's a pedophile. That's not true. Just like they'll get to know Homestuck and they'll say they're immature and they're not cool, and that's not true either. I've met some of the coolest people I will ever meet in my life through Homestuck, and I think that if people get to know us, they will understand that we're just like any other fandom. We just paint ourselves gray, or in my case white, and run around and have fun, and we do good things. And I think people need to give us a chance for that.
Very cool. Well, thank you so much, Amanda. And from the DoubleTree in Dearborn, Michigan, this has been Weird Review.
Weird.